Hello everyone, a warm welcome to my Europa League predictions for the 2020 competition. I hope you're all well. We're going to be running down through all the 16 teams left in the competition, and we're going to be discussing how the quarterfinals and the road to the final, the road to Cologne, how it might play out. So, without further ado, let's get right into the round of 16 tie between Olympiacos and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, 1-1 in the first leg. I have a feeling that Wolves will take this one quite easily. Olympiacos, of course, I think they got knocked out of the Champions League in the group stage. They're on their third place teams. Wolves, of course, have come right from the second qualifying round, and definitely one of the teams I think have been fantastic and exactly what the Europa League needs. And so I think Wolves definitely go through to the quarterfinals with ease on this one. Then we come to Sevilla versus Roma. Now, Sevilla and Rome, Spain and Italy both have their leagues under resumption. I mentioned it in the Champions League video the other day. There are no French teams anymore in the competition. Unfortunately, they've not really had a good year in the Europa League, France. But Sevilla and Roma, I think, definitely have an edge. Either team have their strengths and their weaknesses. Roma have been brilliant on the defensive aspect this year. Sevilla have been good on the attack. But Sevilla I actually remember watching the game between Sevilla and Cluj. If you're reading through this bracket, Sevilla and Cluj. Sevilla went through on away goals after Cluj had I think it was a goal disallowed or something like that. So Sevilla, I have a feeling Roma might go through here because they've not been in the greatest of form. Let's say Roma they've been good through the competition. I think they deserve to go through. So I'm going to go in the quarterfinals between Wolves and Roma. Okay, and then we come on to Lask Linz versus Manchester United. Manchester United 5-0 up in the first leg after a brilliant performance. I watched that game. It's a bit eerie behind closed doors, but it was a good performance from United, and I think they probably will win it at Old Trafford the second leg when it happens. So Manchester United through into the quarterfinals. Istanbul Başakşehir. I'm gonna pronounce it right one day. Turkish fans, you know what to do. Tell me how I pronounce it. Copenhagen, and they play Copenhagen in the round of 16. Now I have a feeling Istanbul, they take a 1-0 lead, and I think Istanbul probably will go through on this occasion. Copenhagen, of course, they beat Celtic in the round of 32, but I think Istanbul definitely have an edge. In this tie, and I think they'll go through to the quarterfinals and face United with ease. It'll be a lot of fun. I think Istanbul will be a great side to play. I don't remember watching them before. So let's bring it on. Inter Milan versus Getafe. Now, Getafe beat Ajax in the round of 32. Inter Milan beat Ludogorets Razgrad, and I think it's going to be a very close tie between the two. Of course, it's gone to single leg because Inter Milan couldn't travel to Spain because of restrictions in Italy, and it's a very, very interesting thing. Inter Milan are a very, very attacking side. They've got Lukaku, they've got Sanchez, Lautaro Martinez, knocked out of the Champions League, of course, by Dortmund and Barcelona in December, and I think Getafe have played all the way through the tournament, but Getafe have been one of the wildcard sides, in my opinion. Getafe are a very, very built defensive side. Ajax, when they played Ajax, I remember watching them, watching the goal show. I remember every attack Getafe or Ajax had, Getafe sat back like a brick wall. It was like watching Mourinho again, or the Mourinho sides again, and they'd just have a massive brick wall, and they'd be a fantastic defensive side throughout the whole match. Of course, Getafe Obviously, they scored 3 goals against Ajax and won the tie 3-2. But I think Getafe this time, they may somehow lose out because of the attacking superiority of Inter Milan. They're currently, I think Inter Milan is sitting 4th currently in the Serie A. Getafe, I'm not sure where, but in the La Liga. But Inter Milan, I think, may edge this tie. It's going to be interesting. Getafe, it's very, very interesting to see where they may end up. But Inter Milan, I definitely think, will end up edging this tie, but it'll be on an edge. It's a very knife-edge tie because both sides will come into the game on good form. Right, Rangers versus Bayer Leverkusen. Now, Bayer Leverkusen, of course, had their season ended, as well as Rangers, actually. The Scottish League, or the SPFL is for short, ended early, like most of the leagues around Europe at the minute. Bayer Leverkusen, they've got a 3-1 lead. They're definitely edging the tie. Rangers, though, I think they can come back. Steven Gerrard's side, they've got it. They beat Braga. They've got definitely some kick behind them, and I think in the quarterfinals they'll be a good side. So I'm going to predict Rangers actually to go through on this one. Even though Bayer Leverkusen have got the 3 away goals, Rangers have got something that other teams probably wouldn't have. They've got to score 3, but it's the Europa League. Anything can happen. And I think Rangers are very exciting. Hopefully Alfredo Morelos is there for them and they can hammer home some goals and everything works brilliantly. Anyway, on to Wolfsburg, another German side. Their league ended early. Shakhtar Donetsk, of course, I'm not sure about the Ukrainian leagues. I don't follow them very well. But Shakhtar, definitely a side that deserves to lead in that first leg. But Wolfsburg, I think, will come back and they'll probably have a little look because they've had their football. And I definitely know that Wolfsburg are a good side. They've beaten Porto. Was that Porto? Or was that Malmo? Malmo. Okay, they beat Malmo in the round of 32. So I'm going to predict Wolfsburg into the quarterfinal. Onto the round of 16. The last one now for the round of 16 ties. Eintracht Frankfurt versus FC Basel. Now Basel carrying a 3-0 lead. Basel's tie, definitely. That's going to be it. Done. But Frankfurt, of course, can come back. They were Europa League semi-finalists, I think, last season. And they know how they've got good experience in this competition to try and have a crack, maybe at the quarter-final place. But Basel definitely through, in my opinion. Right up to the top of the quarterfinals now. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Roma. Roma, it's a very good. They're pretty much equal sides in relative to how they work between their two leagues. They're about the same positions, but I think Wolves could edge this one. Wolves are definitely going to be in good form, and they're going to be, primed for a Champions League place, perhaps. In a way, it's going to be very interesting to see. Sorry, my voice is going a bit. It's going to be very interesting to see how Wolves will perform. Of course, Roma have got Chris Smalling in there, so they'll know how he works from his time in England at United. But I'm going to go Wolves through to the semi-finals of the Europa League, and Roma to be knocked out. Manchester United, Istanbul, Başakşehir. I'll get it right one day. I'm sorry, Turkish fans, if you're excited. I just realised that Istanbul beat Sporting, so they beat them 5-4. What a tie that second leg was for the round of 32. So Istanbul in the quarterfinals. I think Man United will probably top them. They're in very good form at the minute of the Europa League, in the Europa League and in the Premier League. Sorry. But altogether, I think Man United through into the semis and want to face Wolves. It'll be a very interesting one, and we'll see what happens with that tie when we get to it. But anyway, Inter Milan versus Rangers in the quarterfinals. Inter through. I don't think Rangers will stand a chance against Milan. They're a very good side, but Inter definitely through on this one. Wolfsburg versus Basel. I think Basel probably might edge Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg, I think, could get to the semis, but I'm going to take a feeling and go with Basel, because they've already faced a side in the German. They've already faced a German side already, so I think definitely Basel through on this one. I think it's the semis. So semi-finals then. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Manchester United, and Inter Milan versus Basel. So, for me, semi-finals first, I'm going to say probably Man United for this semi-finals. It's going to be very close because Wolves, of course, they've drawn 1-1, I think, already in the league this season. Wolves have had, and I think they've lost to Wolves, actually, Man United. The Wolves have definitely taken some points from United. I'll check that one afterwards. But Wolves are definitely a good side. They'll probably take United. They know them well, and Man United, I'd probably say in the final for this one. It'd be very, very interesting to think Wolves actually getting to the final and beating United. But it's possible. It is any day possible, and I definitely think Man United probably go to the final here in Cologne on the 21st of August. On to the second tie then, Inter Milan versus Basel. Basel not the greatest of sides, but Inter Milan and good tough. Inter Milan, I'm reading. I'm incomplete bracket here, and I'll edit it on the recording. But Inter Milan probably most likely going to fall at the hands of Inter Milan going through here to the final. Basel are not going to take on Inter Milan, and I think they'll be brushed aside. On to the final then. So Manchester United versus Inter Milan. Now I am a Man United fan, as many people know, so I don't want to give, like with the Champions League knockout video, I'm not going to be saying who is going to be winning the Europa League. I'm going to leave it to the comments. So, Inter Milan, of course, they've got Alexis Sanchez, Romelu Lukaku, Lautaro Martinez, Milan Skriniar, I think, Handanovic, Ashley Young, Stefan de Vrij, I think, as well. In the midfielder, there's a midfielder there, Nico Barella, in there too, and I think, and Antonio Conte would definitely want to get to the final and get a Champions League spot, even though he's already there in the top four of the Serie A at the minute, and there's quite a considerable gap to fifth. Winning a trophy for Conte would be brilliant. I think Inter Milan would deserve a European trophy this season after all they've gone through. But Man United, of course, they've got Rashford, Martial, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, David De Gea. I'm trying to think more midfielders now. Matic has been in good form as well. So it's for the final. It's anyone's game between Man United and Inter Milan. It'd be very, very interesting to see how Sanchez, Young, and Lukaku take it. Or take these deals between the sides. Of course, I'll leave it to the comments. I'm not going to make an opinion here. I'd love for United to win the Europa League, but I don't want to make a firm kind of choice here. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to comment down below who you think is going to win the Europa League this year. I'd be very interested to hear your opinions. I'd love to have a chat with you down in the comments below. See who and how and why you'd think which team will win the Europa League. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and share the video, and share it wide, and we can have a massive discussion all together about the Europa League. And I hope everyone, wherever you are around Europe or across the world even, enjoys the Champions League and Europa League returning. It's going to be a great tournament. I'm going to be enjoying it on holiday, so that'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. See you next time, and goodbye.